Well, we back on the old Freightliner today. The last video I showed you, pulled the injector, replaced it, didn't fix it. I called a buddy of mine and he kind of gave me some other things to kind of look at. Whenever I took this truck back the first time to the dealer I got it from, they supposedly ran the overhead on it. I did all that. So that's why I didn't do it in the last video. I'm going to check the injector because something just kind of doesn't seem right to me as far as where the rocker, the way it's kind of acting. I'm also going to check and make sure the jake for that injector isn't sticking down or hanging down. He said look at that, and I may have to ohm out the harness going from the valve cover to the harness itself. He said it's kind of about the only things it can be, or it could be an ECM problem. I hope not. If the harness is bad, I don't think that would be too hard to change out. It may be a little pricey, I don't know, but there's a couple more things I can look at and I can check myself. If I don't see nothing there, then I don't know, I guess I'll have to just take it to the shop. But and I forgot to mention, I did have to put back on the original primary filter or secondary filter, because this one, the hole for the threads is way too big. So I guess the guy at the parts store, I don't know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thing off, then take it actually to the parts store. I hope they'll take that one back because it's the wrong filter. I'm probably going to do that first. Prime it, crank it, and just make sure that that ain't it. Just really don't think so, but I'm gonna be mad if it is, and y'all are probably gonna laugh. But let me get this filter back off, go to the store, see if I can get the correct one, and then we'll try that first. All right, so I guess the guy at the parts store last night, he just grabbed the wrong filter, and I thought something wasn't right because when he rang up the price of it, it was twice as much as what he originally told me. So I think he just grabbed the wrong filter, but I got the right one now. So let me get it pre-filled and screw it back on. And if y'all wonder why I'm using off-road diesel, then watch the first video. It's gonna be okay, y'all. It's okay, just calm down. All right, let's fire this thing up and see what it does. I don't think I can get that lucky. Well, I knew I wasn't going to get lucky. So, I'm going to take the cover off, and I'm going to probably just run it like that and see if I can see anything going on with that jake braking on the injector. Alright, I got the valve cover back off. What I'm going to watch is this jake right here and make sure it ain't going down or something. It's going to be hard to kind of do by myself. I really need somebody in there flipping the switch. I'm going to have to do it, of course, with the cover off here, so oil's probably going to get everywhere, but let's watch it and see what happens. So I'm not I'm not seeing anything. That Jake is not staying down. That ain't the problem. About the only thing I can do now is ohm out the wires, go into the injector. I have a schematic I found for that. That's going to be a little bit tedious, but what I'll have to do is I'll have to pull off the Jake. I was kind of wiggling wires, see if something would happen, but I just kind of got a feeling that's not going to be it either. I really hope it ain't something in the ECM, but anyway, I'll just keep plugging along. Well, I tell you what, it's the little things that just eat up the day. I had to go quote a job, and that took several hours. I was really wanting to go play on my new dozer today. So now I've got to take, I said there would be some bonus footage of this video. I'm going to do that now. Let me show y'all what we got to go do real quick. So when I sold the 306, of course, I had 2 buckets that went with it, and they forgot to pick up one of them. The 36 inch is still on the trailer. Y'all don't worry about my trailer. I know it's terrible. That was in the plan this past week, but now I've got to fix my truck, so it's one thing after another. We're gonna get one final ride on the 306. Well, here she is. I knew she was missing me. She said, you gotta come get in me one more time. It's weird, this CDF here in Tupelo built this building. I'm not sure who's moving in it. Not that building, but the one just on the other side of it, about 200 yards, is the factory that I do all the work in. So I seen this excavator sitting here other way because the highway is just right over there. I didn't even have it locked. Still got my water bottle. Caterpillar didn't even clean it out for me. It's got the key in it. But anyway, the factory I do all the work for is just right on the other side. Golly, that was loud. And the highway, like I said, is right there. And I seen one sitting here the other day when I left. And then when Bubba called me and asked me if I could take the bucket, I said, where's it at? And he said, it's sitting in Saltillo at CDF. Right where she is. So I'm gonna let it warm up, and then I'm gonna unload this bucket for these folks. Alright, we got her warmed up here. How peculiar about machines warming up, even though we are only moving 40 feet. I'd want somebody to let my machine warm up just before I took off in it. Get on Bubba too, because Caterpillar didn't even clean this machine up for these people. That's why I didn't clean it up. They said they was going to. Still got my water bottle in here I forgot to get out. Final ride. I really missed this machine already, especially just having it there on the farm. Bucket. All right, well, Goodbye, sweetheart. Let's go get back on the semi, see if we can figure out what's wrong with it. And this right here is why we call 811. This is a do-it-yourself deal. Y'all see the water spraying out. That's why you call 811, folks. So let's jump back on this thing. I did some more research earlier this morning on YouTube, of course, and there's one video on there. It wasn't titled very well, but it wound up being the injector harness on his truck. But I was reading through the comments, and some people have had trouble with after their truck has set a while, like this one did. Especially it's just sitting there raining on it. The ECM will kind of get corrosion on it. Also the wiring harness somehow can get oil building up in it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crawl up under here, and I'm gonna unhook the ECM and check the connections in that real quick. I'm just hoping and praying right now. So let me do that, see what happens. Okay, so what else I did first was I unplugged the ECU, plugged it back in. Didn't do nothing, didn't help. I checked all my grounds there, which I just did that whenever I put the new batteries on a couple months ago, and there on the frame, but that didn't help either. So I guess now I'm going to pull the Jake back off and see if I can ohm out wires. I hope I can get the plug off the injector without pulling the injector again, but I have more bolts in case I have to. Alright, so I got this thing tore down once again, and I'm hoping, sorry about the light, I'm hoping I can reach in there and get that connector loose on the injector. If not, I'll probably have to pull the injector one more time. So I don't want to do that, but the bolt's only like $2, so I got 4 of them. So no big deal. I just hate running the risk of rolling the O-rings on the injector, but all right, let me see if I can get that out. All right, I got the connector out here. Wasn't that hard once I figured out where the tab was on it. So what I need to do is I'm gonna go grab my meter. I think those pins are big enough that I can just test them right there. I don't have to stick nothing in there, but so basically those pins line up with the rear connector here. You got a front and a rear that is in the side of the intake, or the valve cover. So these pins right here, I got a schematic to tell which pins go to which injector and the jakes. So I'm just going to ohm them out from there to there. I can't really check it from the other plug down to the ECM. If it's got a problem there, then I'm kind of screwed. So let me grab my meter real quick and get set up. Okay, so what I have found so far is ohming this thing out. See if I can get a better view here. So basically I'm just taking my lead, sticking in at each pin there, and coming over here with the other leg of the meter and checking the pins here, and I'm missing one. I'm not getting continuity on one of the pins, and looking at my drawing, if I have the correct drawing, something isn't right. I may try to see if I can pull out this other injector cable on number 4 here and ohm it out and make sure I'm supposed to have continuity on all four, which I'm pretty sure I am. But this isn't matching up with the drawing that I have, so I may not have the correct drawing, or this thing may have been upside down or something. Not sure if that's possible. I'm going to have to investigate it some more, but I'll let you know what I find. So I think I found the problem. I unhooked number 6 injector and went through all 4 pins on it, and I've got continuity on all 4. But on 5 right here, I'm losing continuity on the top left pin. So obviously there's a problem there. I also have another problem. She's sitting back here eating and I'm up here working.
And I don't know what continuity is.
Alright y'all, I have found the problem. Let me get you sit up here. See if I can get to where y'all can see right here. Alright. Alright, y'all see that right there? That is a broken wire. And I'm pretty sure that goes to the... I can get it to focus. You can see it. Maybe. Yeah. Broken wire. So, I may see if I can solder it back together. I don't know how hard it's going to be to find a new connector. I don't know if I have to replace the whole harness or what, but I'd like to at least solder that together and just see if that fixes it. But I'm going to ohm it out real quick and make sure that that's the wire that I'm looking for. Okay, so I got my meter set up, and I just want y'all to hear. I'm going to touch it on the wire. I got my black lead on the pin on the plug, what it's supposed to be, and I'm about to touch the wire. Y'all can hear the tone. So that's the pin that's broke, and that's the one that goes to injector 5. So I'm going to cut back this cable sheath and see if I can figure out, maybe if I can splice it and see what I can do with it. Right here you can see a lot better. And there she is. I know I should probably just go ahead and order a new harness, but no telling how long that would take to come in and even finding one. I'm gonna look real quick and just see what I can find. I already looked last night, but I couldn't really find anything except the whole thing. The only problem was finding one in stock. Seemed like nobody had one. So I'm either going to splice it, solder it up, splice it, at least get me back on the road for now. Then I may can just see if I can get one ordered. I may call around tomorrow and see if somebody can order me one, check some prices on it. Because if I can splice it, there ain't no sense in spending $400 to $600 on a harness. I may have to, but either way, if it messes up again, I know what it is. So let me see what I can figure out. So this is what I'm going to do until I can get a harness. Got me some, I'm going to solder it. I'm going to take these right here, cut that plastic off, solder the wires to that, because I don't really like crimp fittings. And then I'm going to heat shrink it for some protection, and I'll zip tie everything up. Oh, that's kind of temporary. I don't know, maybe even be permanent until I can get a wiring harness, because I've got to get this thing running, and who knows how long it'll take me to get the harness. But I will find one and fix it right later, or this may not work. I may just have to wait on it. But anyway, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And this is going to be, it's going to be really tedious. y'all can see the room I've got to work in. But I've got slack in that wire, so it's not like it's going to be in a bind or anything. And that almost looks like it's got pinched. I don't see no reason for it to break like that unless it was pinched, and I'm sure they did it probably when they ran the overhead on this thing. I don't know. Anyway, let me get this thing situated. I want to say something, kind of make it real clear about what I'm doing here. If this was somebody else's truck, let me get out. Let's see if I can block that light there. If this is somebody else's truck, I wouldn't do this. I would tell them to replace that harness, or I'd kind of offer like, hey, you know, I can try to splice it and fix it or whatever, or you need a new harness. But this is my truck, so I'm going to try this first. All it can do is break again, and the injector not work right again, and then, you know, just go from there. But like I said, if this is somebody else's truck, I'd tell them to replace the harness. Alright, so this is what I got. I peeled the plastic off that fitting because I didn't want that in there, and that gave me something better to solder to. Got the wire soldered, and I pulled on it pretty good. Made sure it's not just real pretty, but it's gonna hold. And then I'll just slip that right there over it. Heat shrink that real quick, and then I'll check. Well, I'll go ahead and check my continuity. Let me do that real quick. Okay, so I'm on my pin that wasn't reading. Let me check it now. Of course, y'all can hear that, and I'm gonna go through them all again one more time. There's that one, that one, and that one. Alright, so I got all four of them now on that injector. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get everything buttoned back up and zip tied down. It's probably going to take me a minute to get all that back situated, but I think we're good. And I need to heat shrink that wire real quick. Y'all, it's useless and uselesser. Y'all supposed to be out there helping me. Okay, I got everything back down, buttoned up. Everything looks good. Made sure all my rockers and stem buttons were in place, everything torqued down. I didn't have to remove the injector, so the fuel should still be primed. Man, I'm kind of nervous. Do y'all think it's going to work? I'm going to leave the cover off and fire it up. Alright, y'all, here we go. Wish me luck. Okay, it's still giving a fault, but it's not giving one of the check engine lights. Let me kill it and restart it. It may be giving that fault now because it needs to be programmed. I hope that's it. But the truck sounds, it's not sputtering like it was. Let me restart it. What is pouring out? I just spewed oil everywhere. Anyway, I'm going to put the cover back on and take it down the road. I have made a mess. Look at that. Y'all, I absolutely made a mess. I saved my sawdust from my sawmill. That's the best stuff for oil spills and stuff. So I'm gonna get this soaking up, and then we're gonna go get in the truck and take her for a spin. Like I said, it still got the fault. Well, one fault. Definitely sounds better. Seemed like it wasn't sputtering. We're gonna go down the highway and just make a loop. We're gonna see what it does. I really ain't got nowhere to set y'all up in here, so I'll just have to drive and let you know what happened. Okay, everybody, I just got back from driving down the road a few miles. I got it out on the highway and really opened it up, and I'm gonna say it's fixed. Other than that one fault it's given, I'm not sure why it's giving it, but the truck is stout. Like she takes off now, and broke wire. I'm just goes to show, you know, sometimes don't give up. Just check all that you can. And I should have done that first, but just stupid me I was thinking about it too much. I was too worried about it. I didn't just kind of just sit down and troubleshoot it like I know to do. I knew better. I was just overcomplicating it, and but anyway, I mean that could have cost me thousands of dollars taking it to a dealer or somebody to hook up to it, which I still need to take it and get it hooked up to and see if that fault can be cleared. But even if I don't, I feel like the truck is running like it's supposed to, and I will definitely know for sure when I pull with it. But I'm going to say it's a huge difference in before and now. It doesn't sputter when you're going down the highway. The needle isn't kind of bouncing around. It's pretty solid, and I'm going to research to see if once that fault throws, that if it has to be cleared with a computer. So anyway, I've got to I'm going to ship the original injector. Well, the one I originally took out of the truck, I'm just going to keep the one that I bought in there. It's just $200, you know. Well, it's $400, but $200 core charge, so I'll get $200 of it back. But I'll just go ahead, that way I don't have to mess with it no more. And I'm going to see about getting a harness, just to, you know, because, you know, it could fail again very soon. Those wires has probably been in there since 2010, so they're probably pretty brittle. But I'll see if I can get another harness. But anyway, y'all let me know what you think. I'll know for sure when I pull with it, but I'm gonna call this one a win this time. All right, y'all keep your eyes open. I'll see you later.